I'm Ted Norby, Director of Instruction for the National University Golf Academy. One of the skills that we need to acquire in putting, what we need to train for, what we need to work on, is distance control. One of the issues that a lot of players have with distance control is how they launch their ball when they putt. We use a system from Quintic Labs that measures launch, ball speed, ball spin, just like you would with a driver. There are optimum spin and launch characteristics in putting, just like there is in driving. In putting, we're looking for a launch angle of 1 to 2 degrees. We've got to get it out of that slight depression with some forward roll. What I'll do here is I'm going to hit a couple different putts. One launching it a little bit too high with some backspin, next one launching it low, even beating it down to the ground with topspin, and then a pretty good launch angle, and you'll see the difference of how the ball reacts. Working and training on a system like this allows you to start seeing what the ball does, and you're just looking to get some consistent numbers. You can train to be consistent with your launch and your roll instead of being inconsistent with it. So the first putt I'm going to hit, I'm going to add a little bit of loft, and again, adding loft can be breaking down the wrists, a putter with too much loft. There are a lot of various reasons why I would launch that with a little too much. And you'll see how compared to the other putts, it will go ahead and change or affect the distance that it rolls. So the second putt, for various reasons, people beat the ball down into the ground. Either not enough loft on the putter, ball back too far, or the hands too far forward. A lot of different reasons why this happens, but what we're looking for is not to get that ball to get beaten down into the ground. Again, affecting distance. And on this last putt, I'm going to try to hit optimum launch conditions, somewhere between 1 and 2 degrees of launch with some forward roll. If we get these conditions down the road, my distance control is going to be a lot more consistent. That felt like a pretty good launch, good spin. Let's go look at the data on our program. So in this first putt that I hit, I added loft to it. You can see that this ball launched at about 4 and almost 5 degrees of launch with 18 revolutions of backspin. When I'm launching it that high with backspin, it's going to check almost like a chip, and it won't roll out as well or as consistently as a putt where I hit it with good launch conditions with a little bit of forward roll. So on the second putt I hit, where we've de-lofted the putter, hitting down on it a little bit, you can see I'm launching it at negative 0.8, so almost a degree of downward roll, and you can see how that just kind of bounces straight up and has almost 200 revolutions of forward roll, and that's just catching the ground and its forward roll. Once this hits the ground, it can almost speed up a little bit, but the bouncing can cause it to not roll out as much. So again, that inconsistency doesn't allow us to have good distance control. So on this third putt, where I've hit a good launch condition with some forward roll, you can see I'm launching this one at about 1¼ degrees. Again, optimum being anywhere between 1 and 2 degrees. And I've got initial ball roll of 92, 93 revolutions. And if I can consistently have that launch condition, my ball speed is going to stay consistent as it starts rolling on the ground. It won't be checking or accelerating, won't be bouncing a whole lot. You can see how much smoother it is on the ground the whole time there. What we're looking for is to see a bunch of green numbers right underneath here. Once we have a setup, a putter with the right loft, a stroke that's working correctly, now those launch angle numbers should be green. We should have consistently somewhere between 1 to 2 degrees. The better players are going to be within 1/4 degree of launch every time. Those tour guys are dead on almost every time. On my final good stroke, I didn't hit it quite as fast as the other two, but you can see now this is denoting speed. So when the ball's in the air, it's not slowing down. And that's denoted by these two that we saw hop and leap up into the air. You can see that it's not rolling until 6, 7 inches out in front. The good putt that was launched better, that had better roll conditions, that ball's on the ground rolling at 4 inches out in front. And I was hitting that putt probably about a 20-foot putt right here. And you can see that it's already on the ground. We can also see that this graph line is a lot more consistent. whereas this is still rolling all over the place. This one hopped once and then it's up in the air again. It's really not even slowing down. So in good launch conditions, you're going to see that graph line at a 45-degree angle kind of slowing down consistently right there once that ball gets down on the ground sooner. So as we've seen on the Quintic ball roll system that our students here at the National University Golf Academy have access to, and any other people that come see us for some lessons, we can put you on this system, have you train on this system, create some good numbers, some consistent numbers, so that we have control over our distance. Not everybody has access to this, and there are different ways to find whether our launch conditions are good, how to train that a little bit. Unfortunately, in this distance control and with these launch conditions, got to get up early in the morning, got to get on some putting greens that have dew on them still, and we're going to see outside there how those different launch conditions show up on the greens. So as we saw inside with the technology, what we're looking for is to launch the ball at a optimum launch angle with some forward roll. That'll get the ball on the ground consistently and get it to roll the same distance every time. So if we add loft or hit a putter with too much loft onto the ball, we will launch the ball a little too high, sometimes with backspin, won't roll out as far. If I go the other way around and de-loft the putter, hit down on it, or have a putter without enough loft, and it's gonna hop up the other way, but almost come out with topspin. That ball can take off and go a little bit too far sometimes. So as we see outside here with dew on the putting greens, if I launch it correctly, there'll be two little hops, but then it's gonna get on the ground sooner and roll a lot better. So when we wanna work on distance control, whether we use data from some of the new technology that's out there, or just get out early morning on the putting green and look at how the ball rolls in the dew, get that ball to launch a little bit better, get it to roll a little bit sooner, get it to roll more consistently, and your distance control will become better.